With the Daintree rainforest to the north, the Great Barrier Reef to the east, and the Atherton tablelands to the west, Cairns' location is spectacular. The small port city is your gateway to tropical North Queensland. Cairns gives access to some truly unique ecosystems, from a lush green jungle to a sparkling blue coral sea. This is where the rainforest meets the reef. As one of Australia's most popular holiday destinations, Cairns is well set up for visitors, with a picturesque harbour, air-conditioned shopping malls and classic Australian pubs. The parklands in the compact city centre give you a taste of what's to come when you set out to explore this tropical region. Rent a bike or follow the promenade on foot from the marina to the mangrove forest. To cool off, swim in the man-made lagoon or let the kids splash around in the water playground on the esplanade. A little further north, you can enjoy the gentle waves at sheltered Trinity Beach. Climb aboard the comfortable Sky Rail for an impressive rainforest experience. Glide over the tree canopy and waterfalls of Barron Gorge and catch a breeze at scenic lookout points. The last stop is Kuranda, a quaint and artistic mountain village. Browse the daily craft markets for souvenirs before you take the scenic railway back to Cairns. With its many free outdoor activities, bargains at the night markets and affordable food courts, Cairns is very attractive for those on a budget, especially families and backpackers. Many come here for 2 nights and stay for weeks. For a more upscale oceanfront vacation, drive north along the scenic coastal road to Palm Cove or Port Douglas. Both towns are laid back and offer miles of palm-fringed beaches, fishing piers, unique shops and rustic Aussie bars. Port Douglas is a dream destination for snorkelers and divers. Book a cruise and explore the largest barrier reef in the world, the only living structure that can be seen from space. Find yourself surrounded by tropical fish and see if you can spot the famous clownfish. Enjoy lunch with views over the Coral Sea before you dive in again. It's an amazing world down under. Back in the rainforest, drop in at a crocodile farm to see small freshwater crocs and the far more dangerous salties. The enormous creatures circle your boat in search of lunch. Watch out, they are hungry. In this swamp, it's eat or be eaten, so how about some smoked crocodile for lunch? Feeding time is a bit more relaxed in the Cairns Tropical Zoo. Cuddle a koala or wombat, visit the kangaroos and admire the colourful cassowary. Experience the tribal Aboriginal lifestyle in the cultural centre of the Japakai people. Named after the rainforest, this local Indigenous group takes great pride in teaching you traditional hunter-gatherer skills. Learn ancient survival techniques and witness a spectacular dancing ceremony with didgeridoo music. Aboriginal traditions are also very much alive in downtown Cairns, and you're welcome to join in. End the day with a moonlit dinner on the oceanfront. Tropical North Queensland's sensational natural and cultural attractions have a boomerang effect on visitors. They always come back. With the Great Barrier Reef and Daintree rainforest on its doorstep, Cairns is your ticket to the tropics.
Little beach dress, kid in your eye, under the palms, under the sky, hands in the sand, feet in the water.
Floated around, sang our own tune, over the sun, over the moon. Nothing to plan, Time seemed to stand
Still, I have you. I know I got lucky when I think about all the stuff we do, and we do it all together. Moments last forever.
I went for a trip with my family to the Great Barrier Reef, and it was amazing. We liked climbing on the wood on the beach. It was really fun, and I climbed up the very top. We looked at a blue starfish, and we saw a lot of animals. My favorite part was snorkeling with the fishes and the turtles. Yesterday we went on the canoe where there was a glass bottom. There was lots of colourful fish and there was lots of coral.
Whoa, look at that fish! Woo!
And we went on the submarine boat and we saw a lot of sharks, turtles and stingrays. There was a red sky on sunset and lots of clouds, and I liked all the colours. We loved the Great Barrier Reef.
Every bottle has a story, where you got it, who the winemaker was. Every bottle is individual and it's a new story. Some of my fondest childhood memories would be working in the vineyard with Dad. His passion for the product that he's been making his whole life has certainly inspired me. We are one of over 30 wineries on the Strangebird Wine Trail, growing alternative varieties that most Australians have never even heard of. Strangebird wines must be grown in the Granite Belt and must represent less than 1% of the national crush. For 40 years we've been winning awards and producing very special wines. The Granite Belt is particularly good for growing grapes because of our unique climate. We get beautiful cold winters, then summers just bursting with new life. Everybody needs to escape from the city every now and again, and southern Queensland country, it's beautiful. Not only is there unique wines and wonderful food, but you can't find national parks like ours anywhere else in Queensland. My name is Leanne Gangemi, and the Strangebird Wine Trail is one of a kind. I think that's what keeps us passionate.
Hey, Jeremy,
Yeah, mate.
why do whales jump?
I don't know. Maybe they want to see what you're up to.
But they jump all along the coast, not just here.
Maybe they just want to see if you're visiting cousins in Burleigh. Or they might want to know if there are creatures as big as them in the outback. Maybe they're sick of eating plankton. I don't know what you're having for lunch.
You know what? I reckon they jump because they're happy.
Happy to come visit us, eh?
Yeah.
Queensland, where life's beautiful one day and perfect the next.
It's the colours that separate us from the rest of the country. And underneath it all is the rich Indigenous culture of Queensland. We have a wider diversity of landscape. We have the reef, we have the mountain ranges, we have rainforest. You know, we're simple people. We try to explain everything in simple shapes. It refines the beauty in the landscape. The simple structures of the mountain ranges. You know, then you go out to the sea and you have the reef and the islands. It's a different colour to anything that I have seen in the world. Large river systems, it's like the heart of the country. The wildlife, the flora, for me, they're unique story places. I mean, we're the oldest living culture in the world, and it was through art that they told the stories. Through the way we paint, through the way we weave, through the way we build the clay. It's reimagining culture into art. It's so unique, and it's all represented in the art at Caius.
We belong here. We are the old ways.
It's very real. Sitting here, I can feel the footsteps and that spirit of our ancestors across this beautiful place.
We are the corroboree and the bora ground. We are the old sacred ceremonies, the laws of the elders.
Through our weaving, that's an expression of our ancestral hands still with us today. These are our beautiful swamp reeds, and you can see the beautiful pink tinge on it, the ones we use and that we traditionally used in our beautiful old baskets.
We are the wonder tales of the dream time, the tribal legends told. We are the past, the hunts, and the laughing games, the wandering campfires.
When we do weave together, I've seen non-Quantamuka people who come to our weaving circles at the festival. Everyone leaves really happy, you know, it's something about that magical feeling of knowing and being. Yes, the rebirth of our artists, our music, our dance and song, and food and culture on Quantamuka country. Yeah, it's pretty special.
We are the quiet daybreak, paling the dark lagoon. We are the shadow ghosts creeping back as the campfires burn low. We are nature and the past, all the old ways.
We were on our way to the Big Red Bash, ticking off some bucket list items. A beer here, when this car pulls up, with boogie boards on the roof. And we thought,
boy, did they take a wrong turn.
Sure did. Later on, it all made sense. Weren't we the rookies?
Just make sure you go straight.
What do you reckon?
Ladies first.
At first I thought she was scared of the blow-up.
Your turn, Chloe.
But she wasn't. She wasn't afraid of anything. I've honestly never seen a kid enjoy something like she did that day.
So much so, she refused to have a bath.
Because I want to take you up at home with me.
And we'd really like to apologise to housekeeping for that.
When it's not always rain and there'll be days like this.
When there's no one complaining, there'll be days like this. Everything falls into place like the flick of a switch. My mama told me there'll be days like this. When you don't need to worry, there'll be days like this. When no one's in a hurry, there will be days like this. When all the parts of the puzzle start to look like they fit. My mama told me there'll be days like this.
My mama told me there'll be days like this. Little by little you wear me down.
Little by little you wear me down.
Whitsunday Holidays specialises in Hamilton Island accommodation, Whitsunday Island Resorts, Whitsunday Bareboat Yacht Charters and luxury charters in the Whitsundays. There are so many holiday options in the Whitsundays, it is difficult to know where to start. This is where Whitsunday Holidays can help. They have first-hand knowledge and know what the ideal holiday in the Whitsundays is. Holidaying is their way of life. Our Hamilton Island accommodation ranges from 2-bedroom luxury fully self-contained apartments through to exclusive Hamilton Island luxury homes. The Hamilton Island apartments, villas, penthouses and houses available are of the highest quality. All of the Hamilton Island properties are privately owned and beautifully furnished to the individual owner's taste. Only those properties at a luxury standard are listed on the Whitsunday Holidays website. All properties include a golf buggy. This is a great way to easily get around the island. A valet service from the airport or ferry terminal is also provided. The valet will collect you on your arrival and take you to your private property. They will also collect you on departure for your return trip. Whether you're looking for plenty to do or nothing to do, Hamilton Island is perfect for both. We can also assist you in exploring the Whitsundays on your very own boat. Or we can arrange for a sail guide or skipper. With over 70 islands to explore, this is your chance to live that adventure holiday. Take control and be the skipper of your very own private yacht whilst cruising the islands of the Whitsundays. Choose vessels sized between 32 and 50 feet in length. Sailing yachts, sailing catamarans and power catamarans. And sail you and your group around over 70 magical Whitsunday islands just waiting to be discovered. Cruise the Whitsundays in elegance and style on board your very own private luxury yacht. Experience complete freedom and independence on the water, whilst being completely pampered by the professional and dedicated yacht crew. When it comes to cruising on the Whitsundays, the number of options and yachts can be overwhelming. This is where Whitsunday Holidays can help. With our passionate and knowledgeable staff, we will help you choose the right yacht charter for your holiday, making it one you will never forget. Many factors will ascertain which is the best yacht for you and your group, including your party size, sailing experience and budget, among others.
This is a natural phenomenon not seen in any other natural habitat on the planet. Coral spawning, in essence, is actually the Great Barrier Reef breeding. The Great Barrier Reef stretches 2,600 kilometers from just south of Bundaberg right up to Papua New Guinea. This reef is incredibly huge and it breeds in the same 2 or 3 nights. Nothing like it on the planet. Corals, as a tiny little jellyfish style animal, actually reproduce in 2 ways. They reproduce for the majority of the year asexually, where they actually split and divide, asexual reproduction. However, coral spawning is their sexual reproduction. That pretty much corals are having babies. But the way they do it, because it's so large, they do what we call broadcast synchronized spawning. They throw bundles of sperm and egg into the water. To synchronize it, we as researchers have actually worked out a few of the main cues. The major environmental cues that we look for is the full moon around the November period, and then we go 2 to 6 nights after that. And what we're looking for in that period is the smallest tide range. We don't want a lot of current. The reason for that, all that genetic material can float up and have a chance to mingle and for the right individuals to find the right individuals, so to speak. A few nights later, the tides and the winds start dispersing it across the whole reef.
We are on Heron Island, just off Gladstone on the southern Great Barrier Reef. I'm a marine biologist and I'm the Deputy Station Manager at the Heron Island Research Station. I did a Bachelor of Marine Studies through the University of Queensland and actually come out to Heron Island as an undergrad student in my 3rd year. So I've made it my life's mission to come back, and I have been working out here for the last 3 years. My work out here is really varied, whether that's from helping researchers collect animals, driving boats, or even driving front-end loaders. The state of the southern Great Barrier Reef right now is pretty good. We haven't had significant bleaching or significant disease. We are definitely still under threat and need to do a little bit of work to make sure we keep it just as beautiful as it is right now. So we can make really minimal changes to have a really large impact. Pick up plastic off the beach every time you visit. use reusable coffee cups and stop using straws, and that will make a massive difference to our oceans. The question I get asked most about the reef is definitely around the colour of the corals on Heron Island. So when you're out snorkelling, a lot of the corals will be of brown and kind of green hues, and it's not really seen in the northern GBR. So when people come out and visit Heron, they think it's a little bit sick or it's dying. That's simply not the fact. We're a temperate reef system, so we have different species down here, and most of those are those brown hues. A fact about the Great Barrier Reef that blows my mind is probably just the size and the magnitude of the actual reef itself. Something that can be seen from space but is made up of millions of little animals, I think is really quite phenomenal. In my opinion, the best time to visit the reef is definitely coming into winter. I love this time of year. The water is super clear and we've got some of our larger migratory species such as our whales and our manta rays cruising past. I think the future for the southern Great Barrier Reef looks quite bright. I think we definitely need to make some changes. We need to keep trying, keep doing research, and we will definitely be able to make a difference.
The reef is under pressure, particularly from climate change, but it is an amazing, vibrant, thriving, beautiful ecosystem. More than ever before, it needs us to work harder to protect it, but there is still future hope for the reef very much if we are determined in what we do from now on.
That's where tourism really acts as a vehicle to bring people from all around the world, not just Australia, but from all around the world, to see this beautiful place, fall in love with it, and then want to protect it. I talk about a million little actions that got us to where we are. Each action, whether it's turning off the light, whether it's walking instead of driving your car, planting another tree in your backyard in some different country from Australia, all those things contribute to the climate change challenge, because as our scientists have said to us, we can do all the work we want locally, and we are. I think there's no question that here locally in Australia, enormous effort is being done, but we need everyone to work together. And I think that's where tourism's great. You get out there and you have a snorkel, you realise this place needs protecting. But you're not just protecting here, protecting the whole planet. And that's what really matters, because this is the canary in the coal mine. It's saying, if you don't look after me, ultimately you're not looking after your own home.
It's not next generation that's going to deal with this. It has to be done now. What we're trying to do with the Citizens Project is build a 21st century conservation NGO, and that means you have to think about things like the shared economy, you have to think about material use. There's a whole load of complexity that needs to be added into what the individual can do. It requires the world to step up. It's a massive effort, but it should be not the poster child for climate change, but much more a point of inspiration for change.
We have an incredibly tightly regulated tourism industry. You can't run a commercial tourism operation in the Great Barrier Reef Marine Park without a permit from the authority, and we take that permitting process very seriously. But that sort of sets the minimum standard, if you like, and many operators go way beyond that minimum standard, and so we have a high standard tourism operators program, which recognises the fact that although we set a minimum behavioural standard through permitting, many operators go well beyond that, and they actually become stewards of the reef and our partners in protecting the reef. And in fact, they are an essential element of how we protect the reef. Tourism operators are always giving us intelligence about what's going on out there. They are very often our eyes and ears that tell us firsthand things that are changing on the reef before we realise, before the scientists realise. They are educators and communicators, and as I'm sure you can see on this panel, they inspire people from all over the world to realise how brilliant the reef is. The reef is a vast, very remote wilderness. You can't just park in a car park and go for a walk through the Great Barrier Reef. You know, you need substantial infrastructure, planes, helicopters, vessels, pontoons, island resorts. And the tourism industry has invested in all of that, and that provides the doorway to the reef for everyone who comes here. Every single tourist who visits the reef actually helps contribute to its protection. So we have an environmental levy. Every tourist who sees the reef pays a small amount. That small amounts, they add up. And that money goes directly to the care and protection of the Great Barrier Reef Marine Park. So tourism is our partner in protecting the park and an essential part of the park's future.
It's about partnerships, it's about working together. You know, we've got public and private, you know, we've got government departments from the Commonwealth to the state, to the regionals, to the locals. And then of course we've got the tourist operators, we've got the scientists, all have the same common goal. We all know how much, they've all fallen in love with this place. They all want to protect it.
The reef is the most extraordinary ecosystem on the planet. And so we just have to keep remembering that there is nothing that can replace it.
Get underwater and don't go away with a soundbite. Go away with a better understanding, and that's what we're trying to do for every single one of our visitors, is go away with a richer understanding through your personal experience of the reef, not only about what we have here, but how you personally connect to the reef. Because at the end of the day, we are all connected, and it's through that we're going to change the way that we approach the greater future of the reef.
I have taken several hundred people to see the Great Barrier Reef, and I've had experiences from people that have ranged from just open weeping tears of joy to people who have just stared at me wide-eyed and said, "You have just changed my life. I cannot believe what I just saw." Come and see it. It will blow you away, I guarantee it. I have worked here for 30 years. It still blows me away. There's something different every time. You don't know what you're going to see, but you do know that it's going to be spectacular. So by all means, be responsible global citizens, but just come because it's awesome and it will blow you away.
The Great Barrier Reef is the world's largest coral reef system. It is on the World Heritage listing, and it ticks a lot of the important boxes in that it is of great importance in terms of natural history. It shows one of the greatest geological events on Earth, which was actually built by animals. You know, there's so many species out there living and working together, and that's what I've kind of spent my entire life trying to document. Of major importance for the entire world. You know, it's a working, living coral reef system. And obviously we need to conserve it in the future, so it has a large conservation value as well.
Everyone should just do one bit they can each day to do something that helps our environment. My name is Libby Edge and I'm the founding chair of Eco Barge Clean Seas. Eco Barge Clean Seas runs 2 programs. It's removing the threat of marine debris, so the Whitsunday Islands, and also running the Whitsunday Turtle Rescue Centre. What I love about living in the Whitsundays, we're at the heart of the Great Barrier Reef. Out there is the most amazing backyard possible. It's abundant with marine life. It's abundant with the most beautiful coral you'll ever see. But there is a positive and a negative to our islands jutting out from the coast. With our southeast trade winds and with our currents and tides, litter is washing out of stormwater drains, entering the ocean, and then it's being blown onto our beautiful Whitsunday Islands. Marine debris is everyone's problem, and that's what I love about our volunteers. The passion, the dedication and the love and the drive. We're a team tackling it together. We're dealing with the dark issue in a positive way. We're not blaming people, we're just going out there and getting the job done. We've removed 152 tonne of marine debris since we launched the program in July 2009. We're out there to make sure these islands shine and they're as beautiful as they possibly can be, but ultimately why we're doing it is to protect the marine life. We're seeing turtles come in with impacted gut with marine debris. We're seeing entanglement with flippers cut off. Only a few months ago, I tried to rescue a turtle that I actually saw choking on a plastic bag. If Eco Barge doesn't clean it up, our sea life are eating it. When you've gone through every day with this turtle, they become a part of Eco Barge, and to put this turtle back into these beautiful Whitsunday waters, we've done our job right. And we've been lucky to meet that turtle. You can actually see the Great Barrier Reef from space. This is Mother Nature at its best. And I believe everyone who has the honour to live on the Great Barrier Reef, we are all guardians of the Great Barrier Reef. So people on land, please, if you see any litter, please put it in the bin. You could be saving a turtle even by walking your streets.
Wherever you go, wherever you talk about sea, people talk about turtles. My name's Jim Buck. I run the turtle research project here at Lady Musgrave Island. The first year was 30 years ago. We've been back every year since. I can't imagine not coming here. The work we do is a lot of data collection. We're collecting information from nesting females. We see, on average, around about 60 to 80 turtles a night. In our February trips, we wait until hatchlings have emerged and run down the beach and collect information, so how many eggs are laid, how many genuinely hatch, and how many get to the surface and run down to the beach to the water. I'd like to think that the work we're doing will certainly contribute to the ongoing protection of turtles within Australian waters and also neighbouring countries. Plastics in the environment is probably one of the biggest issues we face at the moment, and also making sure that we can maintain the nesting areas that are already in existence. We get lots of people coming and visiting. They travel to Lady Musgrave just to come out with us, and I find that particularly inspiring. It allows us to build an understanding of what the Great Barrier Reef is about and drive people to help protect not only the Great Barrier Reef but all the animals that are associated with it. When you have information, when you have knowledge, that's power, and that does provide you with an opportunity to influence things.
Back in 1971, when I was at university, we were asked to volunteer to help collect data. We just wanted to get involved in something to do with the environment. From the first time I saw those turtles laying, something inside me clicked that made me want to fight for the turtles. Every summer since then found me with turtles. My name's Nev McLaughlin and this is Bev. We're the team leaders for the Wreck Rock Turtle Monitoring Project.
I didn't meet Nev until 1973. We got married and spent my honeymoon tagging turtles. It's developed into a big family commitment.
Deepwater National Park is the second largest aggregation of loggerhead turtles on the mainland. Turtles have been nesting here for thousands of years, so it's very important for the loggerhead survival. When we first came here, the biggest threat was the foxes that were digging up 90% of the nests that were laid. We now have problems with erosion of beaches. We've seen dead turtles washed in because they were drowned in trawl nets. We've got a big problem with goannas taking more than their share of turtles. There's big problems all around the world. These days we need more of a balance, shifting in favour of the turtles.
We arrive at the end of November. We've got 22 kilometres of beach, and then we spend each night looking for turtles that come up. We'll, if required, tag them. We measure them. We check to see that they've got no damage, and then we collate all that information into the Australia-wide database.
This is one of the only places where they have such a large amount of data being collected over such a large amount of time. And during those years, there's been an extension of the Great Barrier Reef Marine Park to include the section right in front of this beach, and only in front of this beach where the turtles nest. And we're told it's directly because of the data that's been collected, and that data being so significant to need the protection of a marine park. To me, the Great Barrier Reef is one of the greatest, the biggest living things in the world. We certainly need to make sure it's there for the future. It's not something we actually think about anymore, whether we're coming or not. We'll be back here every year, helping the turtles, make sure our kids and our grandkids get to enjoy turtles in the future.
Australia's Sunshine Coast is just over an hour north of Queensland's capital, Brisbane. Generously blessed by Mother Nature, one side offers 60 miles of spectacular coastline, the other, tranquil hinterland. The Sunshine Coast is where Australia goes to relax. Endless golden beaches, water warm enough to swim year-round, and an easy-going attitude make this the perfect place to slow down, unwind, and simply enjoy yourself. In this beautiful region, the casual glamour of Noosa gently merges into the family fun of Caloundra and blends with the artistic flair of the hinterland. The Sunshine Coast's most famous town is Noosa Heads, an indulgent and stylish getaway that attracts many of the world's A-list. Noosa's powder white beach is one of the few in the world that is almost completely surrounded by national park, almost 4,000 hectares of classic Australian bushland. Spend your day following winding tracks to the unspoiled headlands and then cool off in crystal clear waters. As the sun fades, step straight from the beach into a luxurious lifestyle that shines just as brightly at night. Noosa is the place to enjoy 5-star accommodation, designer stores, and of course, romance. If you prefer your relaxation a little more low-key, head further south to the villages of Sunshine Beach, Región, and Coolum. Choose your own stretch of ocean and cast a line. Enjoy relaxed dining and a leisurely coffee, or just soak up the sunshine for which the area is named. For a little more action, join the surfers who are drawn here from all over the world. There are more than 100 surf breaks in the region, so there are waves to suit everyone. Surf lifesaving clubs and their volunteers have been keeping Australia's magnificent beaches safe since the early 1900s. Today, they also offer some of the most scenic dining in the country, such as the Mooloolaba Surf Club, where you can enjoy local seafood overlooking the ocean. Create timeless family memories at Mooloolaba Beach, one of the most protected beaches in the region. Explore the local rock pools and learn more about life in the ocean at Underwater World. Wildlife experiences don't come much more intense than the legendary Crocodile Hunters Australia Zoo, just a half-hour drive from Mooloolaba into the hinterland. One of the largest conservation and wildlife facilities in the world, this is the place to come to touch a snake, see big cats, and of course, watch the crocodiles be fed. At the edge of the Sunshine Coast's green hinterland are the Glasshouse Mountains, craggy volcanic peaks that stand like a gentle grandfather protecting the entire region. Crisscrossed with trails and offering sweeping views of the coast, they're ideal for hiking and picnicking. The area's natural beauty has long attracted a vibrant community of artists and craftspeople, and the Umandi markets showcase the very best of their work. What started as a simple idea dreamt up by two friends in the 1970s has become one of the biggest and most beautiful markets in the country. There are now more than 600 stalls each Wednesday and Saturday, offering local produce and crafts created in the nearby hills. Enjoy the cooler air of the small towns of Montville, Mullaney and Mapleton, snuggled in the rolling Blackall Ranges. Originally built around the logging industry, these historic towns are now known for their fine local produce, beautiful buildings and breathtaking views. the Mullaney Botanic Gardens and Bird World offers a chance to learn about the local wildlife along miles of meandering walking paths. When the call of the ocean draws you back to the coast, head to Caloundra, the Sunshine Coast's most southerly city. Families have been holidaying here for generations, and this comfortable city has relaxation down to a fine art. Wise travellers know that to discover the best destinations, you should always follow the locals. In a country famous for its beaches and laid-back attitude, the Sunshine Coast is where Australians go to relax. So follow the footprints and make a few of your own in this beautiful place.
covered like you did, so you don't like to go to the
When you come to Fitzroy Island, you'll find more than beautiful tropical rainforests, panoramic views and white sandy beaches. You'll find some pretty dynamic environmental projects at play as well, including the Turtle Rehabilitation Centre. There's also aquaponics farms, so that the food that you eat at the resort has been grown on site. And most importantly, the Reef Restoration Foundation's coral nurseries, where we're growing as many corals as we possibly can to replant on the Great Barrier Reef. We've established a network of coral nurseries here at Fitzroy Island. Each nursery comprises 10 metal tree frames suspended in the water column. Our team of divers collect coral pieces from donor colonies on the seabed and attach them to the tree frames, whereupon they'll stay on those frames for about 6 or 7 months until they become semi-mature colonies and can be planted back out onto the reef. It's a demonstration of site stewardship led by the Fitzroy Island Resort to demonstrate the custodial approach to the reefs adjacent to their property. A key pillar of Reef Restoration's mission is to educate and make more aware of the state of the Great Barrier Reef and what you and the community can do to assist. And it's only through having visitors come to the island that we're able to get our message across and to demonstrate that something can be done and something very positive is being done.
zitsiko, zitsiko, maye.
How can the color blue be a feeling? Well, it's hard to describe, but it is. You see, it's different down here. The air just has more life in it. Sounds touch you, and the light fills you up somehow. Yeah, it's a place that stays with you. And sometimes, if you're lucky, it stays forever. That's why there's nothing like it.
It's like love cleanse your soul. Feel it in your veins. Breathe it in, your lungs will stay. It's like love for the first time. It'll all make sense. You know it.
Australia isn't just a place you see, it's a place you feel.
Thank you.